It is a Women of Divine Destiny Initiative production, and we are so glad that you are watching this time. On Talk, we always would deal with issues that concerns the youth in our society, and of course, you always keep getting it better. If you would stick around, there's something to learn. My name is Delma Gogui. On the program today, I have other young people like me that will be discussing on a topic, youth development and self-improvement. Now, because of time, we're going to break it down into two. So today on the program on youth development and self-improvement, we will be focusing on encouraging personal development and setting goals. I think that sounds like something that every young person should be interested in.
Indeed.
I have amazing people right here. Now, if I introduce you, I want you to tell us one thing about you that will be easy for everyone to remember.
Okay.
Yes. So we have Mr. Kamal Abdul Aziz.
Yeah.
Kamal Abdul Aziz, glad to have you.
Likewise, good to have you. Good to have you here,
Now,
Bells.
so what's the big bang thing about you? I should never forget.
Change. Impact. Yeah. Change, positive impact. That's one thing I'm big on.
Yeah.
I like to see the change within my society.
Awesome.
Positive change, actually.
Wow.
So I'm all out for change. Yeah.
All right, and we have Miss Stella Francis. Glad to have you.
Thank you for having me.
Yes.
I'm a peace ambassador, so I like to promote peace anywhere I go.
Yeah.
Very passionate about peace building. Thank you.
Awesome. I'm so glad to have you. And Miss Aiki today, Aiki Moloya. Did I murder your name or I got it right?
You actually tried.
Okay, so how's it pronounced?
Akim Molayan. You got the first one.
Akim Molayan.
Yes, please.
I love to pronounce names well.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Akim, what's that big bang thing about you?
Well, first and foremost, thank you for having me here. And about me, it's authenticity. And also by that, I get to work a lot in the development space to see authentic and tangible solutions around.
So we see best way out there. So let's go to Mr. Kamal. When we talk about youth development and self-improvement as a whole, from the nutshell, what are we talking about?
All right. Thank you very much. Well, you've asked me this on a broader scale. I'd like to streamline it to economics.
Okay.
Because if we start talking about self-development, we will touch on just a whole lot, right? Without getting really into the details. There's just so much to delve into. So I would like to use a situation actually to define what self-development is. So imagine you walking into a workspace and then you get paid certain amount of money, let's say 100 naira, 200 naira, or even higher, right? And when you get paid such amount, mistakenly, a lot of people would tell you they get paid for their time. Now, one big question is, do other people get more than that for their time, right? Do other people get more amount for that particular time that you get paid maybe 100 naira for, right? Now, this is a question left for you to answer, and then it's a subject of something, right? Value, right? It's a subject of what you have innate in you, the capacity you built, and certain values that you exhibit. I'd still ask you another question. When you walk into a workspace and you get them 1 billion naira, right, as a return of investment, at the end of the day, you could be worth over 100 million naira. They will be willing to pay you that much. But that didn't just come out of ordinary. It comes out of the value you will be paying, yeah? And so, on a broader nutshell now, I'd like to tell you, or every listener listening, that it's as a result of this, I would like to use a statement that might intrigue us, right? And make us understand the concept of self-development. Oftentimes when people ask me about self-development, I tell them to work hard on themselves, work to build themselves, as opposed to working so hard on their jobs. What that means is when you work hard on yourself, when you possess certain values, then subliminally, your organization, whatever firm you work under, will enjoy that benefit, right? And they will value you a lot more based on the input you're able to put into that organization. But when you work so hard on your job, what that means is you do not grow efficient enough for them to see the value to add to what you will be earning. Because it's basic, same thing you came into the organization with, is the same thing they know you as, right? You've not built on your competence level, you've not built on your maybe oratory, you've not built on your just everything that you need to build on to grow past that ranks, right? So that's, for me, is self-development.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So Stella, from what Kamal is saying is, in line with our topic, which is encouraging personal development. But what if I'm good at that thing already? Do I need to, go beyond, like you're saying? I'm already the best writer in the organization, so,
You have to, like, from what you're saying, it's like boxing yourself in a box. Oh, my organization is comfortable with what I'm doing. I'm the best as so long as my organization is concerned and I'm good. It's good enough. No, it's not. Learning is a constant thing. The only constant thing in life is change. So you ought to go out of the box, out of the building actually, and learn more what is obtainable across the globe. They said the world is a global village. It's just to be a global village, but I'll categorically tell you that the world is now a global community because you can reach to anybody via social media handle. Some people tell you that, no, I'm not on Facebook, but go to Twitter, you find them. Go to LinkedIn, you find them, depending on where their preferences is. So it is very important that you don't limit yourself to what you already know. Expand, get to learn emotional intelligence. I was talking to a friend who was working in a particular place, and then he got an offer in a different organization. And when he got there, he asked them, why is this job vacant? They said, okay, the person who was occupying the position left because she needed to meet her husband. And for the next person who was supposed to assume the position, they said she lacked emotional intelligence. For this reason, they advertised the position.
Wow.
So if she was comfortable as being an assistant in that position, she didn't expand, she didn't get to learn skills, she didn't get to see what is obtainable elsewhere. But the organizations will be satisfied with her job, but to maybe promotion, she's not good enough to be promoted to that position. So it is very important that we go out of the box to learn more skills, to learn more ways of being to enable productivity.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Stella had mentioned, I feel I would like to take it like one of the reasons why I should decide to encourage myself to get personally developed. But then somebody's listening and it's not really convinced, like, well, I get paid well and all of that. So why should I be concerned about my personal development?
All right, thank you. One thing we must understand also is that everybody can grow old, but not everybody grows up.
Wow.
So if I leave a child of a year-old child, just place her in a room, just feed her, give her milk and whatever, the next 365 days, the child will become a year plus. And if I myself, as I am, I decide not to do anything, and just keep living the way I live, after 365 days, I will also be +1. So everybody can do that. But when it comes to growing up, which is what personal development actually brings. So personal development makes people to grow up. And if you look at every strata of life, you have the opportunity to create a better life than you are actually experiencing. And so that is something that should trigger the fact that, yes, I must develop. And look at every development all around the world is triggered by or powered by energy. And so every young person must find that internal energy that will power their self-development. Okay. Otherwise, we remain where we are. And one important thing also, because if you feel, I've known everything, I've known all. If you look at this world is like a pyramid. There at the base, there's crowd at the base. But as you go up higher, you have more space and bigger space. So you just want to get that freedom for yourself. And so you want to take on personal development because that's what will make you climb that ladder to the top.
I think one of the challenges that we're having as Nigerian youth, and let me expand a little to Africa, is sometimes I go through all the educational system, I get trained, but for me to get the platform for me to be able to pour out that knowledge is hardly there. So you find young people, just reconsidering going through all that stress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get, and yeah, basically, this is the reason why personal development is also really important. And now you need to streamline it to what's attainable in our society. Whether we like it or not, there are certain skill sets that are like in vogue, that are sorted after, right? And it comes with time, it changes with time. And that's why you can't just sit and be okay with what it is that you have in it, right? You have to start searching for how you can develop yourself to fit the domain, to fit the society today. So let's take, for instance, early 90s, what was in vogue? A lot of people wanted to be bankers. A lot of people wanted to be doctors, right? And right about now, I'm sorry to say, that a lot of bankers, a lot of doctors are losing their jobs right now because there are solutions out there. We look at the world and we see AI, right? Artificial intelligence coming in. We see the internet and the power it possesses. All you need to do is browse. There's even telemedicine, where you just put a call across, interface with a doctor, and then he gives you all of that. The drones delivering medicine. So what can you do to remain valuable? I'll paint another picture. You're a Maygard, right, at your place, and now we have remote gate controls. What can you do to be better at what you do so they can still see your value, basically? So these are all the thoughts that you have to have in your head and start thinking about how you can improve yourself. And once you see that, okay, it's time to leave this point now. It's not even about the profession anymore, because we all know that when you have certain values, let's say, for instance, you are big on integrity and you've built yourself to that extent. Your oratory is fantastic, right? And also you have compelling ideas on how to sell whatever product it is. You know how to relate with the immediate community around you. You don't have to belong to a certain profession. People would see that value in you and see what you fit in immediately within your immediate society. Okay. So it's not all about that.
Okay. So I think when we talk about the issue of, because what we've looked at now is maybe when you need to be employed. Now, what if I want to start a business and all of that, entrepreneurship that is, and I don't get the kind of encouragement, because our focus is personal encouragement to develop. So how do I handle that where the business, the capital might not be there, and that's somebody's excuse?
Yeah.
How do we handle it? But before you respond to that, this is Talk That Talk. We will take a short break, and when we come back, Akin is going to tell us his thought on that particular question. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Talk That Talk, a production of the Women of Divine Destiny Initiative. And we are discussing youth development and self-improvement. And our focus today is on encouraging personal development and setting goals. So we are talking about young people who want to get into entrepreneurship. The finance is not there. So what are we talking about when we say encouraging myself to develop?
Yes, the first thing that I believe an entrepreneur wants to achieve is to create a solution and to solve a problem. And once this is there inside, the problem will become what drives you, your passion as to. And so then you will know that as an entrepreneur, you are on a leadership stride. And leaders take responsibility, they don't make excuses. And so if you want to launch out, the place of personal development is key, that you are not starting with excuses. And so keep develop that passion, develop the idea, write it down, let it be plain, and understand where you are going. And once you have this understanding of where you are going, it triggers inside you the encouragement that you need. You don't need people to encourage you. And then when you do that, perhaps the standard you set for yourself is because of how a model has been going on. But in terms of self-development and personal development, we look at something that would trigger innovation. So you may not have to actually follow through what has been the existing model. So the next thing, I want to start a business, I want to start a company, okay, I need capital, I need this. So there are other innovative ways to do that. And then we've talked about the internet as the tools and the internet technology as things that can help. I want to drive some of this. So there are several avenues where you can start applying the idea, the solution you want to create. Start applying them even at a low scale. At some point, it will be scaled to the level where you want, and then you become. We talk about some fintech organization in the country today. They started with the little way they can, and before you know, big companies are buying them off and paying them in big time. So you just have to make sure you are starting with solution, you are creating solution, the value you are creating, and then you're consistent with it no matter how. Don't make excuses. Just keep going at it, and then the time will come where you get the bank.
Stella, sometimes we find ourselves as young people, I want to get into, for example, like the fintech industry, where I need to get some kind of training for it, and I might not be able to afford it. Looking at technology these days, I might not be able to afford going through maybe a full training to be able to get that, and that could limit what I want to do with my dreams.
Interesting question. So let me tell you one thing about young people of today. Some want to just start big. They see, because of the social media, you see a lot of celebrities on social media. Some are not necessarily what they project on social media. I could sit here, this is a very nice place. I could take a picture here and paint a picture of what I want to paint. Japa, and then people can buy it. Young people will buy it. Oh, I want to be like Stella Francis, but they don't know the where Stella Francis is coming from. So I would like to say that mentorship, young people should learn how to get a mentor. And like I said earlier, it's a global community. You can someone can mentor you even without even knowing the person. So it's easy for me now. Maybe I see like I want to be like you can, the Facebook boss can be your mentor, and then you without having any contact with him, communication with him, you just see, you read and see what he's doing, and then you can toe that line. And then otherwise, volunteerism, you can volunteer for an organization. If you identify your passion and you know that this is what you're doing, look around the organizations that are towing that path. You can volunteer for them. Volunteer your time.
But young people don't feel like volunteer every day, or like Pepe no go rest.
Yeah, but that's the self-development we're talking about. You have to pay a price. Nobody will feed you coffee and tea and bread. There's a price for everything. You want to be, it's either maybe your parents have done the job, and maybe even if your parents, you inherit whatever you inherit from your parents, if you don't put hard work to it, you will end up losing it. So you need, whether you have the capacity, by capacity, I mean whether you have the financial capacity, you need to get a mentor or volunteer for an organization, know the do's and don'ts of that business you want to start, then you can start. Even if it's a public speaking you are passionate about. Look at Oprah Winfrey. Look at those people that make you happy. Look at those people that inspire you. And then toe that line, listen to them. And
so with what you're saying, looks like I need to be able to set my goals. Is it like setting goals?
yeah, of course, you need to set your goals.
Yeah.
First of all, you need to identify your passion.
So in setting goals now, first I need to identify my passion.
Yes. Identify your passion. Get to make research, know who is doing what your passion is. Sometimes we go to church and then we just go to church and pray and leave. Sometimes going to maybe prayer meeting or the youth meetings can help a lot. I'll tell you a story.
Okay.
I was the financial secretary of the youth in my church, and then we always have the Bible studies, and then anytime we go to Bible study, nobody wants to speak. So I just flip the Bible and just one word, I just expatiate on it. And then one time the CW president just walked in the meeting and she was like, she just sat down. I don't know why she came to that meeting. First of all, she had once invited me to mobilize like 10 youths for her.
Yes.
I mobilized those youths and then we represented her somewhere. And then this fateful day, it was not planned, but she just came in and met me speaking to my other young people. And then after the meeting, I was going and she's like, hey, you come here, take this website, go and read about this website. And then tomorrow, she gave me an office address that I should meet her in that office. I got to the office and then she asked me, I should summarize what I saw on what I read.
Yeah.
And then I did it. After I finished summarizing it, then she now gave me another link that I should apply. There was a conference in Europe that I should apply for the conference. I should apply as for sponsorship. And I applied. They offered me the scholarship.
Wow.
I went for that conference, all expense paid. And then while I also indicate that I want to volunteer during the conference.
Wow.
So yes, I got an opportunity to volunteer in the conference. And then it was time, they said, it's time to share your dreams and your aspiration. At that time, it was in 2016, the Boko Haram, the kidnapping was all over the place in Nigeria. And then people who paid for the conference were raising their hands and they were giving audience. And when I raised my hand, the other people that were volunteering and working with, they were happy. They gave me a mic. Everybody was speaking, they were not, I was not identified.
Yes.
But after everybody finished speaking, and then of course, the conference invited me and I'm a sponsored attendee. So they know the owner of the conference knows my name. So she called me from where she was, Stella, can we hear you? And then when I got the mic, and I'm like, the first thing that came out of my mind, I am a patriotic Nigerian. Everybody in the room was, I got more audience than any other person.
Wow.
And I told them that my dream is to empower women in Nigeria, especially the women in the Northeast, so that they can have a voice and they can send their children to school.
Yeah.
Because at that time, people were worried. People in the Northeast were worried about taking their children to school, especially the girl child. So I'm like, this is my passion and this is what I want to do. After the conference, people were now coming to ask me how we are going to achieve this my dream. And then my madam, she was like, she never got that kind of attention. She has been attending the conference for years. She never got that kind of ovation that I got. And that is not even all. The next time, before we get back to Nigeria, my story was on the news.
Oh, wow.
Yes, on the newspaper, and they sent the document for me. Wow. So this is what volunteerism can do for you. It can expose you.
Now, Aki, what happens if I am not prepared, if I don't plan as a young person? Is there anything I stand to lose?
Yes, it's a very important question. we are bound by time here in this small world that we are. And as a young person, you will not remain ever young. And so whatever it is that we want to do, that is where the place of setting goal and getting prepared for what is ahead. So set a goal that converges in the place of time and target. Because you have a target you want to meet and you know the time band for you to meet that target. And one thing also about this, getting prepared for what lies ahead. When you are setting goal or when you are getting prepared for what lies ahead, the question of why should not come into place. Because as a young person, you don't have to listen to why should I set this kind of goal. Because sometimes, our goals are bigger than us. Yeah. And in fact, your goals should be bigger than you, otherwise you are just wasting time. Yeah. And so the question why should not be there. That because when you tell people or you share your goal with people or you are getting prepared for something bigger than you, people will give you 1,001 reasons why it won't work or why we won't be able to achieve it. And so that is the place of planning yourself. We talked about personal development, yes. And you have to take it upon yourself. And this is the way I used to put it, that push for that goal. Push for that goal. And how do you push for it? Number one, pen it down. I use the word PUSH, pen it down, pen the goal down, understand it. Be systematic about it because you are going somewhere.
And I need you to slow down on that because somebody is writing it right now.
Oh, okay.
Yes, somebody watching us right now is carrying a pen and he's penning it down. So just take it one after the other.
All right. Like I said, you don't have to ask question of why when you are setting your goal.
Yes.
Because people will give you 1,001 reasons why it won't work.
That's right.
But the question you should ask is, what should I do about my goal and how do I get there? And I said, you should push for it. And when you are pushing for the goal, number one, I said, you should pen it down.
Push, the P is to
pen it down. Yes. Because it's important, if you don't write it down, you may forget. The faintest pen is more valuable than the sharpest brain. So it's important that you pen it down. And why do you have to pen it down? The more you see it, it enters your subconscious. And that it is at the subconscious, it raised that giant inside you to want to achieve it. And then the second part I said is understand it. Try to understand your goal. Know where it fits in the scheme of things. And know where your niche is as well in the goal when you're understanding it. And then I mentioned the S, be systematic about it. Your goal is big. So there are some times you may need to break it down. So, and there are some times we have to know that this goal leads or is linked to something else or something else. So understand those systems around your goal that will make you achieve your goal. And then the last one, the H, hold on to it. Hold on to the goal. Don't be diverted from your goal. It's very important. And then there's another thing also when if you now want to, how do I now achieve these goals? I've just mentioned what to do about the goal. Now, how do you achieve the goal? I'll still use the word push as well.
Okay.
Productivity. We have mentioned this and some of my speakers have mentioned this. It's important you keep producing something. What are you creating concerning your goal, about your goal? Keep producing something. And then you realize in no time you get to achieve that. Then the you in this category, I would say, is to have undivided focus. Many young people they have beautiful goals, beautiful ideas, but at the beginning, it's great, it's perfect, everything is working out, but due to like the excuse you raised earlier, challenge of, maybe funding, or you don't have support there, some people back down, but no. If you are goal-oriented, your focus should be undivided. Just keep pushing at it, and then you get it. And then the S in this side be strategic. She talked about volunteering and how she strategically raised a dream in that kind of gathering. So you can be strategic in achieving your goal, position yourself. And in terms of strategy, some people also go to school. We have mentioned that earlier, school about it. Some people go spiritual about their goal because it's also part of their strategy as well to achieve it. And then the last one, I think, she has mentioned in help. For you to achieve your goal, you need a help, either from a mentor or somebody, because nobody is big or great today that has not enjoyed help. It may necessarily not be in terms of financial help or otherwise. It could be just someone just shared an information with you. She got an information from somebody. That person helped her to be able to push to that level. So this is my own thought about it, getting prepared for what lies ahead. We cannot be stopped.
Now, I'm going to ask all of us, but go ahead.
Sorry, I would like to add
Sure.
collaboration, because collaboration is very key.
That's right.
Sometimes we have ideas, it dies down at the that idea level. But if you have the boldness to talk to someone about it, look, I have an idea. You probably have the finances. Can we put this together and then work on the modalities that work for you people, and then you take it up from there.
I think sometimes young people are afraid to share. I have an idea. I'm afraid to share with Kamal because the next thing is I'm seeing Kamal on the big screens with my idea. So you find out that young people don't want to. I beg you. Let me just do my thing.
Yeah. So for me, I beg to differ actually, because in all honesty, there's that saying that states the richest place with ideas is the graveyard, something like that, yeah? And this all as a result of people not being able to share their ideas. You don't have to be selfish with yours, in all honesty. Just as she had rightfully said, the world needs network, it needs collaborations, and that's the driver. So you need to know who you're even sharing your idea with. And basically for me, as I defined myself initially, being a change maker, all I want to see is the end goal. Whether it be me that, whether I drove that idea to actualization or someone else driving the idea to actualization, that's all that matters for me, the end goal, success, right? Me seeing the change I want to see in my immediate society, being driven by someone else. It's a dream come true for me, because what is most paramount at the end of the day is the end in sight. Now, I will digress a little.
Okay.
And why am I digressing? A lot of people define success quite differently. I'm not saying they are not right for what their definition of success is. A lot of people think success is just all about making money, right? And that's all that success is to them. Quite rightfully, if that's your definition of success, so be it. But if we want to look at the bigger picture, we're all here for a purpose. I live by saying, right, what did you do with the tools you're given? So either ways, if I am making profit out of my tool, it comes as a bonus. But when I am helping other people actualize their goal, right, helping other people get to the preferred destination, at the end of the day, what we should be living for is entire humanity, our society, and we impacting on it greatly. Do you know what wealth is? In this particular perspective I'm going, wealth is you seeing your society thriving really well, that whatever it is that you sow in it, you would reap a whole lot of, right?
I want to ask all of us a question. We've talked about the issue of planning and all of that. How about when I accidentally get successful? Is there an accidental success? Is there anything like that?
You want to go first? Yeah, but okay. So for me, I feel like everything actually needs a certain level of preparation, right? The accident in it might come out of how much value you have instilled in yourself. There's no how you're going out there to make profit out of something you are probably not passionate about, or you haven't added value in that aspect, right? About. So it has to be there. You might have the patience, right, to be able to listen to people, right? To be able to listen to people, and people come to you and appreciate you at the end of the day after listening to you, You might see it as accidental because it's not my goal in sight, but I have harnessed it over time, and I know that this is a quality I want to live by. Everybody has a pinch of every potential in him. So whatever it is you decide to harness, whatever it is you decide to grow, right, is your own doing. By so doing, it's not really accidental. It's you being intentional.
Okay.
It's you being intentional about the value, the quality you want to improve upon. So when you do that, and coincidentally, something comes your way in relation to that,
Yes.
you see, it's not really accidental. And I like to believe that the universe, not to go spiritual, actually navigates you around your greatest potentials and your values.
Yeah, young people
One
say
thing,
my money.
one thing I would say is that seeking relevance. Sometimes maybe you seek relevance, you seek relevance by finding a space on the table. Whether you don't have a space on the table, whether you're standing beside the table, just stay there, listen. When you have the skills, so say for instance now, I can write, and maybe in an organization, for some reason, the secretary did not show up for this day, and the minute has to be taken. And everybody, maybe nobody wants to write. And I said, okay, let me take the minutes for today. I am standing by the corner. And then tomorrow, the secretary does not come again. And like everybody start looking for Stella. Where is she? Can you help us? And then for some reason, maybe the secretary is no longer active or something. And they say, Stella, can you take this role? Will you say it's an opportunity?
Well, I would say it's an opportunity that Stella has prepared for.
So we
but
need-
what if I do, let me give an instance.
All right.
I do a betting kind of thing, which the one that young people do. I go for shows and I win a lot of money. I go for the audition. And I have that stack of cash, you know. I don't know if I prepared for it. So what is there? So I can, yes. I
Yeah,
can
if I may just build on what Kamal has said,
Yes.
what we define as success in terms of achieving our goal, there are three things I believe every success should have. You have freedom for time, you have freedom for your skills, and you have freedom for resources. So the resources could be financial at this time. So if any man is successful and does not have these three things, you are not free with your time. You don't have so much time for you. You are not free to dictate what your time should be meant for. You don't have you can't dictate your skills or the level of skills you need to increase or improve on. And you can't even determine the resources that you have then. I don't think it's success. So when you're bringing it back to the example you made, that somebody just, made those kind of things, have that kind of financial, maybe resources having for them. Many a time, those kind of things may be superficial in terms of being fulfillment. It's not a fulfillment in his case. I stand to be corrected for that, but I think for me it's not fulfillment because you just have access to one part of your resources.
Yeah.
So, but what of the skills that you need to sustain you? Or do you even have the time for yourself to do several other things? So this is my own perspective about that. So somebody define luck as when preparation meets opportunity. And so that is where I think whatever it is that should be accidental, there must be a level of preparation. And then the opportunity comes, so you take advantage of it.
Interesting.
So if I may add to that, and build on what everybody has said, I actually used to tell a friend, I told a friend something, and he highlighted it as the change that he experienced in his life. He related it to that actually. And what did I say? Permit me to use the pidgin English. Yeah. I told him where you did and where you did they relative. Where you did and where you did they relative. And what does that mean basically, or how did I perceive that? Where you are in life at about now, and where you're consistent at, where you're always, maybe you're always at the bear parlor, or you're always at the betting place, right? Or just like the secretary who
Yes.
was just by the corner and opportunity met her, right? Is relative. You being there is your choice. You could be anywhere else, right? But for you to be consistent there is because you have already, how do I put it? Streamlined where you want to go to, right? This is your focus. This is your interest. You've defined it as your passion, right? So if success comes and meets you there, it's not necessarily, or if that kind of breakthrough, please, I beg your pardon, if that kind of breakthrough comes and meets you there, it's not really accidental because to an extent, you've been prepared to an extent, right? You're there and you've been consistent. And when you're talking about success and how to get there, right? Or setting breakthroughs and how you have defined success is when opportunity meets preparedness. You will see that that actually fits into that, that particular bracket. So yeah, that's how I see it too.
Yeah,
Okay.
for the sake of maybe a naive person who is listening to us, I would like to say that, because you made mention of betting, they also pay price for that betting. So that you don't listen today and say, okay, let me try betting. They pay price. Some of them keep paying and betting until one day it gets there.
You know something, Stella? I saw a post last week about a young man who was sleeping on the streets in the US, and he won a bet of hundreds of thousands of dollars, lived a flashy life, and went back to the same street as a beggar.
That's the skills that was lacking.
Yes.
The skill was lacking because that's not a success. You just have access to your resources. But what is the skills? What skills has the person built to be able to sustain that kind of resources and also to have more time for himself? So these three must be there, found in that success.
Interesting. So when we're looking at encouraging personal development and setting goals, what are you telling the viewer?
Yes, we'll say you should imbibe the spirit of I can. That you should not see anything too big to achieve. I can achieve it. And once you have that spirit of I can, you build it inside you, you keep affirming it inside you, and then you'll be able to set the goal. Now, I'm sorry, I'm still going to define it. Because it's important. These are principles. Okay, these are principles that I feel I've been working with. I can be intentional, which is more important than persuasion. You shouldn't be persuaded to follow what you want to do. Be intentional. And then the C, there, be consistent. Don't look for perfection right now. Just be consistent at what you want to do. And then the A, you apply. Don't just acquire the skills you want. Don't develop yourself and get those skills. Apply it. And then the N, never stop developing. Never stop developing.
Okay, so I would like to say that if it's too big, break it down. You have the immediate goal, you have the mid time, and then you have the bigger goal to achieve. So don't feel that your dream is too big. The bigger, the better, yeah? So it's even better that you dream big so that you start taking the baby steps until you get to where you want to get.
And come out.
All right. Self-development is actually something you owe yourself. You're as big as what you give yourself permission to become. So always look to improve on yourself, and that is your worth. And then as for goal setting, in all honesty, what you don't put in control is most likely to get out of control. Goal setting helps you to focus and streamline your effort and, channel your energy actually to the path that you desire to be, to trade on.
Thank you
and
so much.
measure success.
Yeah.
It is important that you measure your success and then you improve on it.
All right.
Thank you so much, Kamal, for joining us on
Thank
the
you
program.
so much, Bill.
And of course, Stella and Akim. And how can I not thank you for watching? We really appreciate that you took our time to be with us on Talk That Talk. Thank you to our executive producer, Women of Divine Destiny Initiative, Wodi, for this great opportunity. Next week, you cannot miss another edition of the program for nothing because you will learn a lot. My name is Dell.